Hello and welcome to Racers Now. The first weekend in July is a busy one for racing fans. So two videos this week looking ahead on a solo mission on my own to the Friday action at Sandown and Doncaster. And as usual, I will be back on Thursday night looking at all the best bets for Saturday with the main man, SD. So yeah, really good card at Sandown on Friday, the first day of their two-day meeting, culminating obviously on Saturday in the Eclipse Group 1 at 3:35. But yeah, Friday, decent little card. A couple of good handicaps, two or three, I think, listed races, one marathon trip listed race as well, which we won't be covering. Not my not my cup of tea. But yeah, plenty to look forward to at Sandown. So a quick video with three selections. In the 2:30 at Sandown, this is a listed race for 2-year-olds. I think the gap at the top of the market is too big. That gap is between Asterius and the Actor. Asterius is around the 11-10 favourite for Watnam Racing, and the Actor is 2-1 for Richard Hannon. I think the Actor is priced on the basis of him finishing down the field in the Coventry, pitched in at a pretty hot race there by Hannon after just two starts. And it looked like he didn't stay to me, the Actor. His first two races were over 5 furlongs. Then he's moved up to 6 in the Coventry, travelled pretty well. He was in and around the winner, actually, eventually steered out into the middle of the track at about the 2-pole and just didn't stay for me. But he was travelling up there with the best of them, at the 2-pole, and then the tank was emptying. So back down to 5 furlongs here on that sprint track at Sandown. I think the Actor is too big at 2-1. It is a small field. There's only 6 runners. But I think he's worth a go at that. And like I say, I think the gap between the top two in the market is too big. Back down in trip is the key. There's no bet for me in the 3:40 at Sandown, but well worth a look. A very, very good novice race usually produces some good ones. Horses by the likes of Nube, Kingman, Saxon Warrior, Maymas, Franco, and Debarwi. Not bad at all. So well worth watching that 3:40 at Sandown on Friday if you can. The second bet for me at Sandown on Friday is a listed race over 10 furlongs. Now, I know that I've said and I've tried to warn against myself getting drawn in by an unexposed horse with a sexier profile, but that's exactly what's happening here with Lion's Pride in that 4:15. There's got to be more than a handful of reasons to steer clear of the likes of Check and Challenge, Savvy Victory, Almabia, and Regal Reality. I mean, Regal Reality is nearly old enough to smoke. Surely these guys have got to be taken on. They just don't win very often at all, really. I mean, I know this is only a listed race. We're not talking about Group 1 or Group 2, but those horses named, Check and Challenge, Savvy Victory, Almabia, and Regal Reality, those 4 named, it is only a 7-runner race. Those 4 names have had 91 career starts and only 16 wins between them. So that leads me to the favourite Lion's Pride, as you can see on screen, is available at 5-2 for the Gosdens. This will only be his 7th start. He's only had 6 starts in his career so far. He is a 4-year-old and hasn't been seen since April. So the fact that he's not had many starts and hasn't been seen from April are both question marks, but in the Gosdens we trust. I mean, there would have been surely had an ample opportunity to run this horse after his seasonal reappearance in early April at Kempton. But he's obviously not been right for whatever reason. And hopefully he now is right and ready to go. He definitely looked like he was in need of that run at Kempton in April, emptied, pretty quickly. And he's been left until here, early July. So fingers crossed in the hope and assumption that he's ready to go. Surely he can prove himself to be better than those horses that I've named. Hopefully he can. And what you've got to look at with this Lion's Pride as well, at the back end of last year in November at Kempton, he beat Measured Time of Godolphin's Measured Time with a little bit of ease. And Measured Time has since gone on to win Grade 1s in 2 international territories, one at Maidan and one over in America as well, quite recently. So I do think that he could be a horse definitely with the most improvement potential in him compared to the other horses. Fingers crossed he can get it done. Yes, he is favourite, but I think he's, if he is a good horse, surely he should be beating this lot. That's the thinking. Over at Doncaster, they've got a pretty decent card as well. And in the 3:50, I do like one, Mon Na Slieve. All you've got to do is go back and watch this horse's run at Royal Ascot. The typical Jamie Spencer ride. Now, that's not a criticism, because I think Jamie Spencer is red hot on particularly the straight track at Ascot, but it was a typical Spencer ride, don't get me wrong. 28 runners, 5 furlong, 3-year-old handicap, Mon Na Slieve out the back, finished on the bridle. Watch it back, finished on the bridle, not whipped at all once, finished 7th. That still went down as a career best on RPRs, according to the Racing Post. So he's a horse clearly going places. Like I say, this is a 3-year-old only event. And Tom Eves is back on. So he's got to be worth a go here, off the same mark as what happened at Ascot. And like I say, finish on the bridle, yet still was given a best rating of his career. I do fear Killian in this race. Killian's the 4-1 favourite. Mon Na Slieve is 5-1. Although, it must be said, at York last August, Mon Na Slieve did beat Killian and did it pretty well. I think this is a horse going places. There's certainly more potential in him for sure. I've said this was a listed race. It's not. It's a handicap. Yeah, I just think that he's got to be well worth. He's got to be well worth a go. This Mon Na Slieve. He's rated 91. Killian's up there, rated 98. He's already beat him off level weights before. Yeah, 5-1. That's a bet for me each way. I do fear Killian a little bit. I actually put him up at Royal Ascot. Where obviously that was in a Group 1, he finished 12th. This is much more down to his level in a handicap here. I do fear him a little bit, but Mon Na Slieve, just go back and watch him last time. Well worth a go. And he's 5-1 each way. Like I said earlier, we'll be back later with SD, looking forward to the Saturday action, which is at Haydock and, of course, at Sandown, where the Group 1 Coral Eclipse takes centre stage. Thanks for watching.